Hey guys, and welcome to the Bayern View. Hope you guys are all doing well. Got another special guest in the building, the main man from 29 United. Make sure also in the title, his you should just be able to click on his name, go subscribe, go do all that good stuff. And yeah, we're going to be talking about Bayern, and then as well as football in general. So yeah, welcome to the show, mate. Hopefully you're doing well, and yeah, man, it's good to have you here.
Thank you so much for having me, man. I've been looking forward for this for quite some time, bro.
Let's get it. So, I guess we probably should start with Harry Kane because that's the main news. What would be your opinion on Harry Kane and being like Bayern and so on?
He's one of the best strikers in the world, right? Obviously, I don't think anyone's going to complain with having Harry Kane. The only thing I'm kind of worried about is how much we're going to get him for, because I know Tottenham and Daniel Levy is a very hard man to convince, and I know Daniel Levy doesn't want to let him go, and rightfully so. But the only I guess bad comment I have to say on all of this is the fact that it took Bayern so long to go in for a striker, because it clearly affected us this season. But thoughts on Kane? I mean, listen, he's one of the best strikers in the world, and I mean, I'd be very, very, very surprised if he doesn't fit at Bayern.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, it is going to be that whole what we're getting for. You know, they want over £100 million, I believe, and I don't believe we're going to be going that high. So, for me, I think we should be putting players in this deal. You know, we've got certain players that shouldn't be at this club, and I think we should be putting players in there because it's going to be more lucrative. Because let's be realistic. Let's just say we do give them 100 million. Who are they realistically going to get? Maybe Vlahovic. You know, they ain't getting Osimhen for 100 million. I can tell you that. So
you're talking about Tottenham.
Yeah. Like, who are they going to replace him with?
I have a few ideas in mind, but thing is, the striker market right now is a very weird position. You can't really go with a player like in between. It's either going to be a player that's low valued or high valued. There's not really anything in between. Fortunately, how the market is. I have a couple of names in my mind. Like, if let's say we don't get Harry Kane, I'm a really big fan of Colomwani. I just don't want to spend 100 million on him. I don't like. Don't get me wrong. He's been great this season. He's been at the World Cup. It's just not worth 100 million as of now. Osimhen, knowing Napoli and such, they're just not gonna let us have him for anything less than 100 million. Who else were we linked with? We were linked with a lot of strikers, bro.
Vlahovic from Juventus.
Vlahovic. But did we ever officially bid for him, or?
No, not official, but like the rumors were that we were looking at him.
Vlahovic is weird. I don't know. He's good when he wants to be good, but he hasn't been very impressive this season. I don't know. He's like a hit or miss, I would say. But again, I would rather have Harry Kane because guaranteed, right, to be a good player.
Yeah, exactly.
It was also sorry to cut you off. Also the Iranian Mehdi Taremi from Porto, if you know him.
Yeah.
I feel like he would have been a great stopgap striker for us for a season or two. To let the market maybe change up and for us to potentially be in for other players, right? I think he would fit. He's someone who can create, someone who can score. If he has service, which Bayern always offers service, I think he'd bang in easily 20 goals a season. I'm not even kidding. Minimum 15. If you've seen him play, you know how good he is. Yeah. I don't know what you think about that.
How much do you think we'd be able to get him for, though?
I know Porto won 20 million. But I don't know. I guess we can maybe get it for 15 or something.
Yeah, that's not bad. Not for a striker that's going to score you that many goals.
Yeah, he had a great Champions League campaign as well. And to be honest, if he wasn't Iranian, if he was German, Brazilian, he'd be easily 15 million. I'm not even kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't think.
And if he was English, he'd be over 100 million.
Oh, of course.
Right. I mentioned this off camera before we come live. Obviously, you've got a Gravenberch shirt. What do you think?
Right. So he's one of my favorite players at the moment. I was very, very excited when he joined Bayern, but I said to myself, I don't think he's going to get that much playing time. I already knew that it wasn't going to happen, but I didn't think it'd be this bad. under Nagelsmann, it seemed like Nagelsmann just didn't trust him at all. Did he even start a game with Nagelsmann? I don't even think so. I'm not sure.
I don't think he started. No.
And he played for just a tiny amount of time. And obviously, there's so much you can do in 10 minutes of playing time,
10
right?
minutes. Yeah.
But under Thomas Tuchel, he started playing more and more, and he started actually starting games, and he was good. He was really good alongside Kimmich. I liked him. I mean, obviously, he wasn't like a standout player or 10 out of 10, but I think he offers more than Leon Goretzka at the moment. And about Leon Goretzka, I'm not a big fan of him anymore. I used to love him. I just think he's not that good anymore. And sometimes I get this sort of feeling that he's not trying hard enough, as if he knows that he's always going to be in the starting 11. Do you know what I'm getting at? And that's what bothers me. It's because he knows he's going to start, so he doesn't need to put in any effort. That's what I kind of feel with Leon Goretzka, and it really, really bothers me. And Gravenberch is so young; he's got so much talent, and he needs to play if he wants to improve, right? So hopefully he starts next season or plays more at least. But I don't see a future with him if he doesn't play anymore.
Yeah, no, I get that 100%. I get that. It sucks, to be honest. It does suck because the talent realistically oozes out of him. It really, really does. And the thing is with Goretzka, I think Goretzka is a great player. Before you slaughter me, let me finish. He's a great player when we had Thiago. He's not that CDM that we actually need. He wants to be more attacking. He wants to get in the box as well. Where we have Joshua Kimmich, and he can't even lace Joshua Kimmich's boots, to be perfectly honest. So, it is sad with Gravenberch. I don't know. Where do you think, if he does leave, which obviously we don't want to happen, where do you think he will go?
I think he'll probably push for a move in the Prem. Don't know where exactly. Maybe Liverpool, as that's the team he's always been linked to.
Yeah.
Maybe Manchester United. I don't know. About Goretzka, I agree with you. I 100% agree. He is a good player. Like, don't get me wrong. We all know how good he can be. But it just seems that he doesn't care. And he's got that ego too, which a lot of fans don't like. And I think he needs to start kind of improving on what he does, because he's.
Oh yeah.
I don't see how he thinks he's going to continue at Bayern if it's like that. I mean, at one point, I think even the manager or the board and such are going to have enough of him. And even with Germany, he wasn't that great either. So it's not a Bayern thing. I think it's just more of an individual problem. But he's a player that I think is, I wouldn't say hated, because hate is a strong word, but I think a lot of the Bayern fan base are starting to dislike him, because he's a great player if he wants to be. And by the standards that we give him and that has been set, to him, he hasn't been performing at all. Yeah. He's been performing way below par. And Gravenberch, a young guy like him, is playing better. It's just simple as that, really. It's like 1 + 1 = 2. Gravenberch has something even better than Goretzka, and we're not giving Gravenberch more time, which it's really frustrating.
Yeah, I have to agree. I can't disagree with you, because it's like he literally just, like you said, he just goes straight into the team. He doesn't have to put any effort in. He just, we definitely need to trust, either get rid of Gravenberch, which obviously we don't want, or just trust him. Because I know certain fans are like, oh, all he does is moan, and I'm one of those. Don't get it twisted. I don't like the moaning, but I understand the moaning. I get it, because at Ajax he was playing minutes, and then he comes here and we're expecting him to do what in 10 minutes? Are we expecting him to score a hat trick? It's just not going to happen.
Also, the fact that we were in for Declan Rice as well. I'm not sure if it was genuinely legit, because it seems like it's been completely dropped a few weeks ago. It's been completely radio silent. But just the rumors and such. Put yourself in Gravenberch's position. You're seeing players that are linked with your club, the same position as you. You have to understand him being discontent. But again, I would approach it a different way than just going on interviews and such. But that's his choice, right?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, yeah, I have to agree. Centre back wise, obviously being heavily linked with Kim Min Jae. Would you be happy with Kim Min Jae coming in?
Listen, bro, I watch Asian football day in, day out. I know how good Kim Min Jae is. I'm surprised he hasn't been in Europe this sooner. He's amazing. I think he's very, very good. I think we're getting him for 50 million or 60 million, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not really sure.
I think it's one of those, yeah.
I think it's a steal. The only thing that kind of bothers me is how are we going to shape up with Upamecano, De Ligt, and Kim Min Jae? Is it going to be a 3 at the back? What are we going to do from now on? Because I don't know why, but I kind of see like a situation where I don't think it's going to be De Ligt, but maybe Upamecano, maybe he's going to start complaining that he doesn't get enough playing time. Or I don't want something like that to happen. Do you know what I mean? Like I can kind of sort of see it happening. So I think we've got to find a way to like put all of them together. And with Luka Hernandez possibly leaving as well.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a lot of opinions on that, but Tuchel just has to get it right with Kim Min Jae. That's really it. I mean, it's good to have him in the team, but we have to use him well as well.
Yeah, with us being linked with all of these centre backs, obviously Pau Torres is being linked with us. It looks like he probably is pushing, well, not him pushing, but Aston Villa are pushing to go and get him. Obviously, his old coach Unai Emery is obviously their manager. So I don't think we'll get him now, if you believe what the links and the news and that. With Kim Min Jae, obviously Guerrero come in. He's obviously just signed. Alfonso on Instagram saying that he wants to play left wing and doesn't want to be a left wing, doesn't want to be a left back anymore. I generally can see Tuchel going with a 5 at the back system. And I think that's another reason. I know I'm loading too many questions in one, but I think that's another reason we're going for Walker as well. Would you be happy with the 5 at the back with all of these players being linked?
As long as it works, I'm happy. It's really it, bro. Another comment on Pau Torres, to be honest with you. It's not that I'm not a fan of him, but if we're getting Kim Min Jae, we don't need Pau Torres at all. So I think it's just a waste of money, to be honest. And then you mentioned Alphonso Davies as well, playing at left wing. I watch Canada play. I live in Canada, so I have to kind of watch Canada play.
Yeah.
So I mean, with Canada, it's weird, bro. Sometimes you just see him up top as a striker. I'm not even kidding. It's very weird because they trust him so much. But he doesn't really play fullback all that much with Canada. He's mostly attacking, and he's good. He does the job done. He scored not long ago against, it was in the Gold Cup. I forgot who it was. I think it was against Panama where he scored that huge goal. So he is capable of playing as an attacking player. So I wouldn't mind trusting him for sure. The issue is now we've got too many wingers, right? Mane, Sané, Gnabry, Coman, all these guys. Ideally, one of them has to leave the club, who I don't know. But it seems to me that Bayern has this problem where we've got too many players at the same position. And this is why we're getting all like this sort of controversy and news coming out.
Who would, if I had to put you on the spot though, who would be the one that you would get rid of out of Mane, Sané, Coman, Gnabry?
I love all of them, bro. I love them too much. Gnabry was, I would say, if it's not for Gravenberch, he'd be my favorite Bayern player. I love him a lot. That season where he was balling, I think it was in 2020. Just fell in love with his football. The thing with Gnabry is he was very, very shaky at the start, but he kind of came back at the end, which is...
He helped us, didn't he? Yeah.
Exactly. So for that, I would want to keep him. Coman pissed me off a lot in the Champions League in the past few campaigns. He's a player, I don't want to call him selfish necessarily, but there are some times where he just dribbles in like he thinks he's Lionel Messi, literally. And it never works, right? I never liked that. Sané, it's either he's really good or he's really bad.
Yeah.
And Mane, I mean, this is going to be an unpopular opinion. I don't think he was that bad as what people make it seem like. He was injured. But again, up to standards. wasn't that great. I want to give Mane another chance. I feel like it's unfair to just sell him already.
Yeah.
So by process of elimination, it would have to be either Coman or Sané. But I don't want to get rid of Sané. Probably Coman, but I don't know, man. It's weird. It's weird. It's just like these players are all like, if they're good, they're really, really good. But if they're bad, they're really, really bad. Like there's no in between.
There's no middle. Yeah.
So that's why it's so hard to choose who is the one to sell. But I want to know your opinion because I know a lot of people would. I've seen a lot of people say Gnabry, and I've seen a lot of people say Mane. I think those are the most two popular choices that I've seen at least.
Yeah, well, for me, I have Gnabry in the background. He's in my background, so he can't go anywhere for me. I do understand the criticism though that he gets 100%. I understand the criticism. Like you said, he's either really, really good or he's really, really bad. He needs to be more consistent. But at the same time, I also think Sané needs to be more consistent because last season he was so good in the Champions League, and then he just like fell off. I don't know if there's like personal problems or there's something like behind the scenes because obviously it's all to do with mentality up here as well as the rest of it. So Mane frustrated me, and I think the reason I'm so harsh on Mane, I get where you're coming from. I think why I'm so harsh on Mane is because when we went to get him, obviously he was just coming off of a great season with Liverpool. Obviously, Ballon d'Or, he was up for the Ballon d'Or. Obviously, he didn't win it, but he was up for it. And he come in, and we're like, oh my God, we're going to get Sadio Mane. This guy's been ripping up the Premier League, and then it just like went downhill. So it is a difficult one. Coman is one of my favorite players. I do know where you're coming from, though, with the whole, like, sometimes he can be a bit too selfish. But yeah, it's a hard one. It's definitely a hard one. I know exactly where you're coming from.
Another problem I've had from Mane, I forgot to mention, is he scores a lot of offside goals, bro.
Yeah.
And I know it becomes a meme and such, but it's kind of concerning at the same time. I don't know if it was a thing at Liverpool where the players are just more faster. I don't know, but he always seems to be just a step too high compared to the others. So let's say those offside goals were counted. I don't know how many he scored. Maybe people would have a different opinion on him.
Yeah, we probably wouldn't be saying what we're saying if he was to score more. Yeah.
So if he can fix that, then I think he'd be good.
Yeah, good point. 100. Good point. David with a donation. Thank you so much, mate. Lozano and Santi Jimenez. Lozano and Chucky, I would like him. I don't know if he would work at Bayern. What do you think of Lozano? Do you think he would work at Bayern or not?
I don't think we need any more wingers, bro.
No, we don't. No, I agree.
We don't need wingers. But let's hypothetically say he joined. Yeah, I think he'd be all right. I saw his other player was Santiago Jimenez, the Feyenoord striker. I've seen him play. I've seen Feyenoord play quite regularly because there's an Iranian there as well, Jahanbash. So he's talented, man. I'm telling you, he's really good, Santiago Jimenez. But again, if we're going for Harry Kane and such, then there's no need for him, right?
Yeah, no, I have to agree. Like we're being linked with too many players in certain positions. Like even with Chiesa, we're being linked with him. Like we've got all of these players we've just mentioned. Like, and we haven't even mentioned the fact that Musiala can play on the left. You could put Matthias Tau on the left as well. So it's like there are way too many players in the wing aspect. On Marcel Sabitzer, obviously he went over to Manchester United, did quite well for Manchester United. Do you see him getting another shot, or do you think he should just go now and go to a different club or whatever?
I love Marcel Sabitzer too, bro. I haven't seen United play that much, but I've heard good things. I don't think he was bad with them. I've also seen rumors that apparently Barca want him on loan. I'm not sure if that's all true or not.
Yeah.
I want him gone. I'm thinking about my boy Gravenberch here. Yeah. Screw it, man. Let him go.
Yeah.
He wasn't getting any minutes anyways.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I would say. I don't know if he's going to get minutes under Tuchel. Obviously, he was getting minutes under Nagelsmann, but generally wasn't doing anything with it really. It was a bit frustrating for him. Obviously, him being a Bayern fan as well. So yeah, generally I would put him in the deal for Harry Kane. I don't know if they would want that. I don't know if it would work that way. But I would.
They have like Højbjerg and
Yeah.
and all these guys. Maybe.
They're going for James Maddison now as well, which will be a good thing for them. So yeah, maybe they wouldn't want that. But I do think we need to put some players in this to make it look more lucrative, because I don't think Daniel Levy is gonna want to accept it either way. You know what I mean?
To be fair,
Yeah,
we have incredible depth. We have a lot of players, man, compared to the other teams. Maybe that's our problem. Maybe we just have too many players.
Mm.
And we also have the youngsters, Paul Lanner.
Yep.
The Bayern Academy
as well, yeah.
That great, to be honest with you. But we've got a couple of decent players, but Lanner probably the best one. I'm a really big fan of. I think he's good. I think he should go out on loan, though, to get more minutes. Ideally, that would be the best for him, because he's not going to play at Bayern, in the first team at least.
Yeah. No, like Gravenberch can't even get minutes. There's not a chance he's getting minutes. Yeah, I have to agree. Welcome in. Hey, hopefully doing well. Welcome into you too, mate. I just seen. Isn't Declan Rice? Is it a done deal for Declan Rice now?
I think so. Apparently.
Wow, man. Wow.
And I think Kai Havertz. You can see my phone here. It's official too.
It's gonna be on Kai Havertz. I know that you're a fan of Kai Havertz. What do you think of the Arsenal move? Do you think it's a good move for him?
What can I say, bro? It's a lot. I have lots of things to say about Havertz. Number one, I think he's very overhated. I understand he hasn't been great, but so have the rest of the Chelsea team.
True.
That's the thing that people don't understand. Chelsea, as a team in general, have been quite poor. And I feel like it's very unfair for people to only blame Havertz. Now, I understand. Listen, we're Bayern fans, so it doesn't affect us at all. I couldn't care less that he's joined Arsenal. But if you're a Chelsea fan and you're seeing him join Arsenal, then, it's a little bit shaky, right? You're joining their rivals. So I can get where, like, the sort of, not hate, but dislike would come from. But him at Arsenal, I don't know if he's going to be great or not. I don't want him to play as a striker. Simple as that.
Yeah.
He's not good as a striker.
No, he needs to go back to his number 10 role, 100%.
So if he's able to play in that role with Arsenal, then I think he'd do all anywhere, really, man, anywhere. I remember back in the Lampard days, this guy was playing as a DM on Lampard. I remember those days very well. I woke up at 8 a.m. to watch Chelsea versus Everton or something, and I saw Havertz going back, literally playing as a DM, and I was like, well, it's not going to work out, right? And then we've obviously been linked with him forever, really. And I know Bayern fans hate Havertz. I think he'd be good for us if he's not a striker. Simple as that. But the issue is we don't need him because we have players at his position. So
exactly.
That's what I think about Havertz. I wish him the best at Arsenal. I really hope he can get his career back on track. I'll probably even make a video about it. Yeah, what about you?
Yeah, I did like him at Bayer Leverkusen. I think he was really, really good for them. But you are right. Like him going to Arsenal, them actually not having an out and out number 9. Obviously, Gabriel Jesus is somewhat of their 9, but he is more of a left or right sided player, kind of like a Kolo Muani. Yeah, if he's going to play striker there, I think it's going to go exactly how it went for him at Chelsea, but maybe a little bit better because they're flowing.
Well, why do you think he's good with Germany? Havertz is good with the German national team. I don't know if you've noticed.
Yeah.
Bayern fans are going to disagree all they want. Go watch the games. Most of the time he's one of the top rated players. he's good with Germany because there's service, people passing the ball, and he does his thing. So yeah, we're just gonna have to wait and see. I really do hope he can get his career back on track because he's just such a genuine guy. And it's like one of those players where like he doesn't deserve anything bad. You know what I mean? He's not a dickhead. He's not a bad guy. He hasn't done anything wrong.
Yeah.
Sorry for swearing.
No, you know what I mean? Yeah, no, I get you. It is a lot of hate for realistically nothing really. You know, it's not like he's done necessarily anything. He just plays in a position that he shouldn't be playing. Simple as that, really. I think he would really benefit from a striker being in front of him.
Yeah.
Take that pressure off of him scoring goals. You know, and then I think he would hopefully come back to being at his best. But yeah, it's a hard one because obviously he does play better for Germany than obviously club, but like it's weird because Germany doesn't have an out and out striker either. Maybe it's the fact that Germany have a ridiculous amount of good talent where Chelsea are. When he was obviously at Chelsea, it was a lot of, you know, they brought in however many transfers, and obviously they're not going to be suited to come straight in. So yeah, I have to agree with that. I have to agree with what you're saying. What we saying? Locatelli.
Comment. I was about to say a lot of people are saying Locatelli. I don't think he's for Bayern really. And again, you have this guy right here, bro. Just play him, please. Just forget about the midfielders for now. Let Gravenberch have a few games, see how he is. But yeah.
Yeah, I've seen a comment. Yeah, this is obviously a thing. When we were being linked to him, I generally think we were being linked to him so that Arsenal would push to get the deal done. If I'm honest, they obviously did that with who was the one that they did that with? Mason Mount, and obviously it looks like Manchester United are going to sign him. But yeah, Kai Havertz probably would hurt Musiala's development because obviously.
Yeah, I see what that comes from. I think they should just both play together like they do with the German national team instead of one replacing the other.
Yeah. And that's another reason, obviously, with Bayern being linked heavily with Wirtz as well.
Yeah, I like Wirtz a lot too, bro. He just clicks with Leverkusen. He clicks. It's really good. Yeah, I love Wirtz as well, for sure. Wirtz, Havertz, bro, bring everyone, man.
just have literally our team being the German national team.
Exactly.
100. What else? What were we saying? People don't think Havertz has the physicality for England. Again, I just think he needs to be the player playing behind a striker. I don't, it's too much pressure for him to be a striker, to get these goals, to be the centre forward. And Chelsea have been, let's be realistic, have been crap. So he's obviously going to be crap at their crap. You know what I mean? He's not a Leo Messi type of player that's going to take it. What else are people saying?
I see people say Arda Güler from Fenerbahce, Turkish kid, the one kid.
Yeah. What do you think about him?
Yeah, he's good, but I don't think Bayern. I don't think we're going to go for him. I think he's suited more for like a Real Madrid / Barca type transfer. The thing with Bayern is we're not really that type of team to go in for like the big youngsters, if that makes sense. Except
yeah.
But like, who's that youngster we were linked with? The Australian, Iran Kunda. Has it been done? I'm not sure if it's a done deal, if we're just rumored. But like, realistically, he's good. Don't get me wrong. He's actually currently in the under 17 Asian Cup. He's been ripping it for Australia. I think they are now out of the tournament. They got eliminated by Japan, if I'm not mistaken. I'm a nerd about Asian football, so I would know this. Don't worry. And he's been like, if it wasn't for him, I think Australia would be out way before that. He's like that guy, that like just you can feel him there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if he does end up joining us in the future, I wouldn't be opposed to that at all.
Yeah. What another one for you? Kyle Walker has been heavily linked with Bayern. What's your opinion on that?
Are we getting rid of Benjamin Pavard?
I think he's pushing his way out, but not like Lucas, which we can get onto if you want to in a minute. So yeah,
Pavard leaves. Obviously, we don't have Cancelo anymore. Then we've got but at the same time, we've got Mazraoui, which we don't play. And I like Mazraoui as well.
Yeah, me too.
And again, it's Kyle Walker. I would like to give Mazraoui a chance, to be honest. But then again, if we sign Walker, I guess I won't complain about it, right?
Yeah. No, I agree. I wouldn't complain either. I just think, I don't know where, obviously I'm not in Tuchel's head, I don't know where Tuchel would be thinking with it if we do bring in Kyle Walker. Will it be him, he's going out and out right back? Obviously, Mazraoui has been in the media also not happy with his play time and thinks he only comes in when people are injured, which he has a point. He has a point. If someone gets a red card or something, then he comes in. He doesn't get the minutes otherwise. So yeah, Kyle Walker, I think he would be a good player. I don't like this whole bringing all the EPL players to Bayern, if I'm honest with you. I think we've got some brilliant talent in our own league that we probably need to pick up personally. But yeah.
Well, we got good Bunasar as well. Don't forget about him.
Oh yeah. That's just mind blowing how he set up the club.
I would feel bad for him. Like he hasn't done anything, right? I mean, he was never meant to be a Bayern player, and they just pushed him in that team. Feel bad for him, but yeah. I've seen someone in the chat say, "What about Taremi?" which we were discussing.
Yeah.
Pull that up. Yeah. I can go on and literally talk about him for 5 hours if you want me, right? I don't think people understand just how good he is. I understand he's 30. I understand he doesn't come from the most attractive nationality. But it's a pure fact. If this guy was English or something, everyone would be for him. So at the moment, from the sources I know, from the people I know, he's apparently linked with 3 teams. The most is he was linked with teams in Saudi, Al Hilal and Al Nasser. I think no, not Al Nasser, Al Ittihad. I think he rejected a 35 million salary deal, which is insane. Bro can literally rebuild the whole of Iran with that. No, I'm joking. But he's linked with AC Milan, he's linked with Marseille, and he's linked with Lille. I would love for him to go to Milan, probably. That's the one that I want him to go the most.
Him with Lyon. Wow.
Yeah, with Lyon. And funnily enough, Lyon was actually asked about Taremi, and he started laughing, and he said maybe. So maybe does that lead to anything? I don't know. Then we got Olympique Marseille. I don't know. Marseille is not that team anymore for me. That's not that I don't like them. It's just they don't interest me anymore. Lille is a good one though, because if Taremi is coming to Lille, then that would probably mean that Jonathan David is going to leave and should be leaving. Like, he shouldn't be at Lille anymore. Which, by the way, speaking of Jonathan David, I think he was linked with Bayern a few times. No?
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind him at all, actually.
To be honest, I don't know too much. I obviously know that he's from Canada. Other than that, I don't know too much about him.
He's really good. He's rapid. But again, the thing is, like, I can say all of this, but at the end of the day, if we're getting Harry Kane, then I should shut my mouth.
Yeah. It's the problem, isn't it? We're being linked with all of these players. But, if we're going to go and get Kane, then all of these rumours, just chuck them in the bin. So, yeah. What else are people saying? What's this one? But we have to do... I'm not sure what he means. Let me scroll up.
We should just go for, because I think I said that he's like that Bayern don't really necessarily go for the most talented players. Not talent.
Oh, okay.
Like,
yeah.
No, I was most referring to like the famous young talents. We don't really go for these type of guys. I don't know if you've noticed, the talent that we go for are very obscure sort of players. which isn't necessarily a bad thing. Like, you know, Real Madrid, Barca, United, and all these guys are always constantly linked with the top youngsters. Never really seems to be the case for us.
Yeah. No, you're not wrong. You're not wrong with that. Well, actually, you mentioned Saudi. What is your opinion on Saudi buying all of these players?
I made a whole video on it. So here's the thing. Let's look at it from two sides. One side is people saying it's ruining football. But the other side, from an Asian football perspective, which I'm very familiar with, I think it's fantastic. It grows the game in Asia. China had a similar project, but they completely failed. You know, they had COVID and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I think it will work in Saudi Arabia simply because they just have more money. Simple as that. They just have the money. So I think I understand why people are saying, "Oh, it's ruining football," but at the same time, like, do you really care about it that much? Not really, right?
Yeah.
So it's not like every player from every big team is going to go to Saudi Arabia tomorrow, right? It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
So that's what I think about it.
Yeah, no, I see that. I think it's good for certain clubs. I think Chelsea at this moment are using that as a cheat code, to be perfectly honest, to get rid of some of their talent. But yeah, you know, they're obviously trying to build it with the names, you know, and hopefully this builds it for them. We have a viewer that's from Saudi Arabia, and he's all for it, obviously. I just hope it brings out talented players that could then go into Europe that are from Saudi Arabia and are from.
There are a few good
Yeah.
Saudi players. I don't know if you're familiar with any of them. I don't think so. But at the World Cup, there was this one fullback called Saad Abdul Hamid. He was really good. But the issue with Saudi, and I know this is completely off topic, but I mean, now that we're talking about it, why not?
Yeah.
There hasn't really been any Saudi players that have been playing in Europe, right? The only one I can really think of was Al Saudi, the guy who scored against Argentina. I think he went to Spain and he played like one game. And he just went back to Saudi Arabia. But that's a common issue in Asia. A lot of players go to Europe, doesn't work out, and they just bail out and come back.
Good point,
That's the thing with Asian players, unfortunately. The only country that I would kind of say that's not entirely the case, and that's I don't know. I guess it would be Japan. We've seen a lot of Japanese players go to Europe recently, and it's been working well. Mitoma, as an example. I've also seen Mitoma to Bayern links. We don't need Mitoma at Bayern, okay? He's not going to be good for us. But yeah, anyway, that's besides the point. I don't want to get too sidetracked here.
Yeah. No, I know where you're coming from. Someone mentioned De Jong. What do you think of Frankie De Jong to Bayern?
If we do get Frankie De Jong at Bayern, I'm sorry, Gravenberch, you're gonna have to go, bro. I'd take De Jong over Gravenberch, obviously, for sure.
I just don't see it happening personally. I think he loves. Yeah.
I remember this whole like Kimmich transfer rumor news as well.
Yeah, it's like, shut up. You're not taking him. Get out. What about is it Amrabat? Am I saying his name right?
Sofian Amrabat. Funnily enough, this is crazy because I've got like so many different people that I know from different nationalities. My best friend is Moroccan, half Moroccan, half Tunisian, so he knows a lot about Moroccan football. I've seen Amrabat. The only time I've really seen Amrabat play was at the World Cup. I haven't really seen him at Fiorentina. But my friend has been telling me he's been incredible with Fiorentina. And I have seen a little bit of his stats, and his stats speak for himself. He's been good. But again, got that man right here. I'll keep saying it. We got that man right here. We don't need all these people. Unless it's like a Frankie de Jong or a Rodri or something like that. We don't need any more CDM. We got that man right here. And you know what? Everyone can see. Look. See that right here? This is This is who we need. Just play him, please. Now our background's gonna look empty here. So
Do you, do you want to put that back up?
no, it's okay. Well, just anytime someone mentions a midfielder, I'm just gonna do this.
Just hold it up. Yeah.
I won't even say anything. I'll just do this.
Just.
I'll just do that.
Yeah, I agree. He does need the game time. You're not wrong. Voice crack. He needs that game time without a doubt. It just, no matter what we want to say, it's just annoying, isn't it? With Bayern though, obviously we've got a ridiculous amount of goalkeepers. Obviously, Jan Sommer had to come in because Manuel Neuer got himself injured. Obviously, there's been a whole saga with Neuer, his goalkeeping coach, the manager, blah blah blah. Do you see? I'll give you two questions. You can answer them one at a time if you want to. Jan Sommer, do you think he will go? Do you think he will leave? And also, do you think Jan Sommer won't leave and be the second choice? What's your opinion?
I mean, if Neuer's gonna come back, I wouldn't blame Jan Sommer if he leaves because he's a top keeper. He shouldn't be a second keeper.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, it made perfect sense. Did we buy him on? Was it a loan or was it a permanent? It was a permanent.
Yeah, it was permanent. Yeah.
We should have, to be honest, probably loaned him, but I don't think Mönchengladbach wanted that either. But yeah, I want Neuer back, to be honest.
Yeah, me too.
What concerns me though is that we don't have a second keeper.
Yeah, exactly. That was literally the point. Yeah.
That's what I'm concerned about. Should we go with someone young? We have Johannes Schenk as well from the academy. Do you want to give him a chance? It's hard. But we definitely need that like second keeper. I mean, they're older, young, I don't care. Just someone that's solid. I would love.
Yeah, because from Neuer to Ulreich, it's just this massive drop off, isn't there? It's like we need somewhere in the middle. Obviously, we're not going to get a second choice keeper that's going to be the same level as Neuer. That's barely seen around the world. So I agree. What do you think of? I'm pretty good at butcher his name. Is it Alexander Nubel, the young lad that we've got out on loan?
The Monaco guy.
Yeah.
Isn't he going to Monaco? Like I've seen a lot of tweets and news saying that apparently he doesn't want to join Bayern anymore if Neuer stays or something like that. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
but I haven't seen him, so I don't really know how good he is. So I don't know. To be honest, I don't know. I don't want to say something that might be false. So I don't know.
Well, the only thing that I've seen, there is some news out on him, and it's just his manager just talking, or his agent talking, and the thing is, from what's been said ages and ages ago, like if he was to come in, like he's already said that if he comes in, he wants to be the first choice keeper, which I think is ludicrous, to be perfectly honest with you. No one replaces Neuer, not unless you get in a ridiculous player like an Ederson or an Alisson. So yeah, it's the goalkeeping, just the whole club in general is a mess at the moment. We need to, obviously we won the league at the end with Jamal Musiala. Credit to Thomas Tuchel. Obviously, off camera, I said that. Obviously, I'm Tuchel out. I'll let you give your opinion in a second. But you've got to give credit where credit is due. And Tuchel brought Goretzka off, brought on Musiala, and won us the league. So there's credit. But on Thomas Tuchel.
By the way, I forgot to tell you this.
Yeah.
Did you see when Goretzka came in for 5 minutes and then he subbed him off?
Yeah.
And guess what happened? That's all I'm gonna say, bro. I don't need to say anything else. It's in front of your eyes. Goretzka's not good anymore. I've seen someone in the chat saying that they don't want Gravenberch as a DM, and he's not a proper DM. That's true. It's true. But I mean him alongside Kimmich, obviously. Not as a lone DM, no, never. But alongside Kimmich, which is what he's been playing this season, or last season, technically. He's been great. So, yeah, if it's lone DM, then, yeah, definitely not him. But if he plays next to Kimmich, he's fantastic.
Yeah, no, I have to agree. On Tuchel, though, where do you sit on Tuchel? Do you want him out? You want him to stay? What do you think?
I think it's too early for us to judge on if he should leave or not. I mean,
Okay.
at the same time, you kind of have to understand the circumstances, right? It's more than half the season in. Nagelsmann gets sacked. It's never easy for a manager, no matter how good he is, even if it was Pep Guardiola, I'd say the same thing. To bring him and expect him to win a Champions League title and the Pokal. It's not easy. Unfortunately, we blew the Pokal. Champions League, realistically, were we ever going to win it on the Nagelsmann? That's a question for another day.
Yeah.
The Pokal is what disappoints me the most because we haven't won it in so long. And the league, we almost blew it. And to be completely honest, if it wasn't for Dortmund bluffing, we wouldn't have won it.
Yeah, we would have lost anyway, yeah.
Even then, if we didn't win all 3 trophies, I still wouldn't have been very hostile towards the Chelsea because, like I said, it's not easy for a manager, no matter how good you are, to just come in more than half a season in and be expected to win all these things when you, especially as you've been coaching Chelsea as your last team, by the way. And that's very important to point out. Complete different players. You don't have Kai Havertz as striker. You have Eric Choupo-Moting. And surprisingly, Eric Choupo-Moting is the better striker out of the two, right?
Yeah.
So it's I would give him another season before I judge him. So that's why I say to everyone, I think we should wait for a full season before really judging.
Yeah. No, I can see where you're coming from. I can see where you're coming from.
But why is it that you're out? Is there any specific reason?
For me personally, and it's just a personal opinion, and that's why I always say it when I say it in the videos, when I say it on the streams and all of that. I always say it's my opinion, not the channel's opinion. And other people can have their different opinion, and they do, which is good. For me, I just don't like him as a coach, and that's just generally what it is. PSG, Chelsea, all of it. I just don't rate him as a coach, and that's just my opinion. And again, I've said it. I don't know if you know, but I've got this thing going with the community here on the Bayern View that if he wins us a double, I'm going to be wearing a Thomas Tuchel shirt. I'm going to buy one with his face on it for the whole next transfer window, no matter what. If we win the double, that could be the Champions League and the league, or the Pokal and the league, whatever. No, someone tried that. But if he wins the treble, I'm shaving off the hair. So, and that's just because I don't rate him personally. But I understand why some people do. It's just a personal thing, personally.
Yeah. But then at the same time, I understand what you kind of mean. But then at the same time, who would you rather get?
Who else? Exactly. That is the
Yeah, I'm here, bro. But yeah, I kind of understand. Like, I get why people aren't a fan of the show, and it's not that I don't agree with them, but it's like I think more time should be given to him before we give like a proper opinion. I don't think it's fair to judge him off of a few months. That makes sense.
Yeah, no, I get that. The problem with it as well is I don't think he should have come in when he did. Because I think the board, obviously the 2 board members that did bring him in are gone. They got kicked out the door. But they kind of screwed him from the beginning, to be honest, because the team was up and down, really good in the Champions League, up and down in the league, doing okay in the cup, and then you literally put all of the pressure on him. So I am Tuchel out, but I do understand where other people come from, saying he needs more time. You can't expect him to win absolutely everything when he hasn't been the manager. He should have come in this season coming now, for me personally, if you're going to bring him in.
I remember people saying Xabi Alonso was also a candidate. Would be good, but the issue is he's got a project going on at Leverkusen.
Yeah.
So it would be hard to get him. And then another guy that I've been interested in was Brighton's De Zerbi, the Italian. I really like him, but again, I don't know if he would be willing to come, as he's got a project at Brighton as well. Brighton's been fantastic in the Prem. Maybe in the future we can get one of these guys. I really wouldn't mind. But for now, I can just stick with the challenge, see what happens, and just pray he does well.
He does well, yeah. And that's the thing. A lot of people come at me saying, you want him out. And I'm like, don't get it twisted. The reason I've said these things on winning a double, winning a treble, if I have to shave off the hair, that means that my team is winning, and that's all I care about. So there's that. One thing though, I want to ask you. You mentioned it earlier, Lucas Hernandez. Now, the guys, just do whatever you need to do.
Let's say one swear word.
Go for it.
He's a dick. Simple as that. He's a dickhead. You don't go ahead kissing the badge like that and then acting the way you do now. I liked him. I really did, but leave, bro. Leave. Simple as that. You've lost the trust. You've lost the you've lost the fans after that. It's really simple. Yeah. He supported you in the toughest moments in your career at Bayern, and you went in and you backstabbed us like that.
Yeah.
But we're getting Kim Min-jae instead of him, so it's just something to smile about.
Yeah, definitely. The only thing that annoys me with it, obviously, you just hit the nail on the head there. He backstabbed us. That's what it is. We supported him when he'd been injured, and all of this. And when he did play, he was really, really good.
Yeah.
But then he got himself injured again, and he has backstabbed us. One thing with it is the price. Bayern need to get somebody in that can sell players. I don't understand the price. Like, it's nuts. Like 30 to 40 million. Surely we should be getting a lot more than that.
Yeah. No, I agree.
It's just nuts, isn't it? It's absolutely nuts. Right, we're coming up. Get your questions in, guys. We've got about 9 more minutes, and then we'll get out of here. Thank you for coming on again, mate. This has been a good one. And hopefully, for both of our sakes, Gravenberch gets some damn game time. Get that shirt up. 100%. Yeah, get your questions in.
This was really expensive. And they actually messed up and they sent me the wrong size. So I got the refund for it. So I got myself a free Gravenberch kit. But I can't wear it because it's tiny. Bro, look how tiny this is. It's so tiny.
So what shirt do you wear?
I usually wear medium, and this is they gave me like a small, but this is not a small. This is like baby size, literally. It's tiny. Yeah. So
at least you got it. At least you got the refund, I guess, because otherwise you'd be pissed. Wouldn't you?
Bayern can't even get a freaking shirt right, bro. What is this?
For real. Will Napoli lower their asking price for Osimhen? What do you think?
I don't know. If they want to sell him, probably. If they don't, then I don't think so.
While we got this question up though, did you see the news about I don't know if it's true or not, that apparently he wants to return to the Bundesliga, Osimhen?
I haven't seen that at all.
I don't know if it's true. I don't even know if I'll be able to find it with all of the Harry Kane news, to be honest. But it was something. It was in amongst all of the news yesterday about, where is it? Let me put it on the screen for you so you can read it as well.
But what are you doing that Thursday? To be completely honest with you, if I was him, I'd just stay at Napoli. Champions League football, top of the table in Italy. There's no reason for him to really leave, right? But I don't think he's coming back to. Because the thing is, if he wants to come back to Germany, what teams realistically are going to go for him? Bayern and who? Leipzig? I don't think Dortmund are getting him.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's hard.
Yeah. No, I know it. I know where you're coming from. Alvarez. Alvarez is. Oh, I think they're talking about the Ajax CDM Mexican.
Yeah.
Again, I think we're being linked with him just to be linked with him.
Just don't say anything. Just don't say anything. Look at that. Nah. And I'm not with this opinion as well. I've seen a crap ton of Bayern fans being under every Bayern post. Why is Gravenberch not playing? Why isn't he not starting? I know I'm not the only one with this opinion. A lot of people want this to play.
I'm with you. 100. I'm with you. Yeah, it's just nuts, really, isn't it? Rushy says, do you think that Tottenham will let let go of Kane for lower than 100 million? If not, what striker should we get?
Daniel Levy doesn't seem like that guy who would leave him, who would let him leave for 100 million. So no. But at the same time, Harry Kane, man, just go for it. At this point, we're in desperate need of a striker. If not, then go with Mehdi Taremi. I'm not even kidding. Go for him. Why not? At this point, I would see. The thing is, I would rather spend like 20 mil on someone like Taremi than going in and spend a ridiculous amount on someone like Koulibaly or Vlahovic, where I'm not like, we're spending a lot and we're not, and he's not guaranteed to be playing well. Whereas Taremi, if he ends up not playing well, like it's 20 million, sure, it's a lot of money, but it's not like crucial. Do you know what I mean? And Bayern is a team that depends a lot on its finances, so we're not Manchester United or City or Leipzig to just be pouring cash like that. So
exactly,
if we ideally can't go for a top striker like Kane, just go with someone like that will serve as a stopgap striker. Taremi is a perfect example. 22 goals, 7 assists in 33 games in Portugal. He's played 5 games in the Champions League and he scored 5 and 5. No, sorry. He has 5 goals in like 7 games with 2 assists. Something ridiculous like that. And this is a guy who plays with Porto in the Champions League.
Yeah.
He doesn't go with Bayern. Porto. It's not a top level team compared to the big guys, right? So it's impressive.
Yeah. Exactly.
As Kane, so we can't go ahead and say, "Oh, this guy's old. This guy's not old." They're both the same age.
Yeah.
But then again, if it's not for Taremi, who else would we go for? Should we give Maxim Choupo-Moting another chance? I don't think so.
What do you think of Fulkrug? I probably butchered his name, but
yeah, he's good too. But yeah, I mean, like he's kind of like Taremi, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's the same situation. I wouldn't mind Fulkrug or Taremi. That's kind of how I see it. If we can't go for a top striker like Harry Kane or Julian or all these guys, let's go for a stopgap striker. I think that's the best way. That's how I would play it, at least. I don't know what you guys think.
If we were to get a stopgap striker, who do you think we do end up with in the end? I know it's a hard question because I'm kind of asking you to tell the future, but you think?
I really want Taremi. I'm not saying this just because I'm Iranian. I genuinely believe he would do well.
Yeah.
I'm genuinely serious. If he has service, and he's someone that, if you guys have not seen him playing, go search up a few highlight clips. He's literally like Harry Kane. That's the thing. It's scary how similar they are. He can score tap-ins. If you want tap-ins, he's got tap-ins. Penalties. I don't think Taremi has missed a penalty in a very long time. Can score penalties. Dribble, Harry Kane and Taremi, they can both dribble. And they've got that physicality in them as well. They're very similar. Fun fact, actually, when Iran played against England, if you go to SofaScore or Football or all these apps, Taremi actually had a higher rating than Harry Kane, which is something I want to point out. But we don't need to talk about that game, right? Let's keep that aside.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about that game. But the reason why I'm pushing this like prop on Taremi is because he truly is amazing, and it sucks to see him not get like the recognition he deserves.
Yeah.
He also scored against teams like Juventus, Liverpool, so he can score in big games too. So that's all I have to say on him. But Fulkrug as well. I'd love Fulkrug if it's not with Taremi. And it's probably going to be the one that we're going to end up with, just simply because he plays in the Bundesliga and he would be pretty cheap. So
yeah. I'll hit you with the last question then. Who would be your starting centre-back duo for next season?
I'm going to get rinsed. The left is 100% there. Between Kim Min-jae and Upamecano, it has to be Kim Min-jae. I hate to say it because I love Upamecano, but he's sort of been a liability this season, if we're being honest. I don't want to say that at all. Yeah, Kim Min-jae and the left, man. It has to be. It has to be. I hate saying it. I really hate saying it because I love Upamecano, but
Me too.
I have no choice.
Yeah, exactly. You're not going to bring him in to sit him on the bench. Not when he's getting minutes for Napoli as well. But yeah, I just hope that if that is the case, which it probably looks to be the case if we do get Kim Min-jae, I hope that Upper still does get that game time, because we don't want another Gravenberch type of player that's just not getting the minutes that he needs. So, yeah, most definitely. What are we saying in the chat? Okay, the chat is just talking to each other, which is good. Good to see. I would take Fulkrug. Wish he was younger. Yeah, I can see that. But yeah,
what I was saying is that we're at a moment in the transfer or transfer market where there's no like strikers that are like from 40 to like 70 mil. Like there's very few. I don't even think there are any, are there?
no.
So it's either we get a stopgap striker or a very good striker. That's just how it is. We have to.
Yeah, I agree. You either go all out for like a Harry Kane, or you go for the stopgap striker that's going to be there for a little while. Thank you for coming on, mate. Everyone, his link is basically in the title. Just click the go and subscribe over there. Great content over there. I've been watching some of it as I've known he was obviously coming on. So yeah, thank you so much for coming on, mate. And yeah, till then, guys, thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you have enjoyed. And yeah, till then, Mia San Mia. Peace out. Yeah, get that shout out there.